Coach, sorry for the background noise. If you could just see how you saw overtime going and what's the status of Booker? He left the game obviously late, looked like with a leg injury.
Yeah, the overtime, it was 16-12. They made a couple more plays than we did. I thought our guys battled, but we should have never been in that position. In the fourth quarter, we missed some shots. We got some open looks, but to me, it was just they had 80 points in the paint. That was the deal, So, we wanted to focus on keeping those guys out of the paint. Obviously, we did a poor job, and that's something that we're going to have to be better at tomorrow. As far as Book is concerned, we don't know just yet. He was holding his hamstring. He may have slightly strained it, but I don't even want to say slight. We don't know, but I know it was a hamstring type injury.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports. He'll be followed by Cody Cunningham.
Hey, Monty, to go back to the 80 points in the paint, what did you see contributing to that from you guys defensively for that number to be so high?
Just to get under their DA nose at all. You want to be able to mix it up. We went over top of the screen all night long, and it allows them to play downhill. And then their bigs were pretty aggressive. Millsap and Jokic and JaMychal Green in the paint tonight, posting up against our smaller guys. But that third quarter, when they scored 37 points, they just were going downhill, driving by us, DHOs getting in the paint. And, that's something that we got to be much better at tomorrow. And we probably will be without Book, so we got to be even more diligent about ball movement. I thought the ball stopped moving when they went to their red package. Once we attacked the Reds and got to the paint, we nullified that defense, but we just had that segment where the ball didn't move like it did in the first half.
All right, next we have Cody Cunningham with Suns.com. He'll be followed by Brendan Clean.
Hey, Coach. Obviously not the results you wanted, but another strong outing from Ayton. I saw you visually fist pump when Ayton got that and one in overtime. You're obviously not one to celebrate that much on the sidelines, but just what made that moment so special for you?
Well, one, he wasn't getting any fouls. On the follow-up dunk, it should have been a foul. And so my elation was, one, he's dominating the paint. But there was a moment in the game where we had 2 fouls, I think in the second half or something like that. And so a call against them. And to me, that was more me, like that call should have been made on the previous and one when he dunked the ball. And so I'm happy he's playing that way, but it gets a little frustrating when he's dealing with that much contact. And when he's above the rim and people are bumping him, that's tough to swallow. And I'm kind of tired of holding on to it.
All right, next up is Brendan Clean with Forbes. He'll be followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Sorry, just getting unmuted there. I was just curious what you think when they went small there in the fourth quarter and they had sort of that all guard lineup. Did you feel like that gave you trouble? Did it hurt to not have some of the bigs that are healthy right now for you guys?
I mean, you could say that, but I thought when we attacked those Reds, when we made 1 or 2 passes and then started attacking the paint, it wasn't that big of a deal. And like I said, when DA was in there, he was able to hurt them on the glass. But we've had those segments where teams have tried to red us like we do, and it's caused us to pause and stop attacking the paint. That's who we are. We play in 0.5, we attack the paint, we try to go paint to great. And there was a segment there where, one, we just missed shots. I mean, we had a number of good looks tonight, but their red defense did stymie us a little bit, but it wasn't as bad when we started attacking the Reds. And when DA's in the paint, I think we got to trust throwing the ball up and letting him make plays.
All right, next up we have Dwayne Rankin with Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Gerald Bourguet.
Yeah, coach, in the first half, you guys only had 4 turnovers that led to only 6 points, and then it got out of hand. Was that a matter of guys trying to do too much with the ball, or what do you attribute that to?
Dwayne, obviously I got to look at the film.
Right,
It
right.
looks like we were playing in a crowd more, and then we had a lot of late clock situations where the ball got a bit stuck, and then we had to try to make a play late clock, and you lose your rhythm that way. And then it forced us to play into a crowd, and they're pretty good at getting their hands on balls. So that's probably not the best answer, but that was, what I could give you from the eye test. When you're playing, turnovers live in the crowd. And when you play in the crowd and against a team like that who's playoff tested, you're not going to get the benefit of the whistle, even if there is contact.
All right, Coach, our final question comes from Gerald Bourget with FanSided.
Hey, Coach, on that final defensive possession in regulation where Ayton challenged that Jamal Murray turnaround, you guys got the ball, and then Chris Paul kind of had to fire from half court. Did you think about calling a timeout there, or was it just one of those plays where it just unraveled too quick?
No, it's a play where you want to call a timeout. But again, I trust Chris in those situations. It happened so bang, bang. I think it was like 2 points, probably would have been like 2 point something on the clock. It's one of those reaction plays, but, those plays can go either way.
Yeah, obviously, I know you're about getting a win, but started off 6 of 6 from 3. What was working for you from distance tonight? I mean, was it just getting clean looks, offense? What was working for you tonight?
Teammates finding me, they drive straight and they find me extra passes, and I was just being ready to shoot. All the credit go to them.
Mikal, what do you feel like? You guys were up double digits. I know that doesn't mean anything, but what do you feel like maybe was going on at the end of regulation that didn't allow you guys to close it out then, where you didn't need an overtime?
I think turnovers hurt us a little bit towards the end. Had some key turnovers, and they've been together for a while, so they've been in a lot more games like that. They've been in the playoffs with games like that. So, credit to them. But, I think if we limit turnovers, I think we have a better chance of winning.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Mikal, they had 80 points in the paint. What did you see contributing to that from you guys defensively that allowed them to get in there so often?
It's not helping each other out. I think we just got to show better presence and shifting a little bit, help each other out, make other guys go and score, have a stick hand out, make them shoot, a contested 3 or something. But we definitely got to help each other out more when it comes to them driving.
All right, next up we have Gina Mizell with Suns.com.
Hey, Mikal, other than the couple of things that you just mentioned, this is such a unique situation where you play a team immediately the next day. So kind of what are the biggest things you feel like you can take away from tonight that can help you guys tomorrow?
We have to do better, limit the points in the paint, limit some key turnovers, and just go get it tomorrow, come back strong. We know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. So we just got to go out there and fight and play hard.
All right, next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Mikal, we saw Devin injured. It looked like he injured his hamstring. How's he feeling? Have you had a chance to talk to him? How's he feeling right now?
He says he's feeling fine. Hope everything's okay, and hopefully, nothing crazy. Just praying for him. Hope he's all good.
Thanks, Mikal. Yes, Deandre. Obviously, another huge night, and again, I know you're about trying to get the win. So, what's your take from the game? Why do you feel like it turned out the way it did tonight?
We just gotta finish these games in the long stretches, man. Especially like that. A new team like this, going into a big game and a tough battle like that, it's good for us, but it also shows us that we have to get better, taking care of our possessions and taking the time with the ball. All around, I think as a team, we played pretty solid. We competed, but honestly, we just got to get this one back.
when you mention finishing games, is it more of rushing to try to make something happen or not being patient enough? What do you feel like if you had to narrow it down to finishing, what part do you feel like isn't working that isn't allowing you to finish these kind of games?
I don't want to say nothing isn't working. It's just that we have to remember our principles and, just stick to the way how we play. Don't forget the way how we move the ball and take our time to get in our groove. Don't let teams change the momentum of the game on how they play or how they play their defense. Just have to, make that vocal and, make that be known in long stretches like this tonight.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
DeAndre, how would you assess the team play defensively tonight?
I'll start off with me. I didn't do what I was supposed to do in that paint. I think they had 80 points in the paint tonight, and that's a big problem. I have to be more of an anchor, be more of a presence down low. Just to shut it down early. They were getting in the paint a lot, finishing a lot of points and off the switches and stuff. I just have to, make sure nobody gets in our paint.
All right, DA, final question comes from Cody Cunningham with Suns.com.
Hey, DA. Not the ending you wanted, but the first half seemed to go pretty well for you guys, including Chris Paul tying a franchise record for most assists in a half. Just how special is it to play with a guy that moves the ball the way he can, and how much has that helped your game?
Helped my game a lot, especially with spacing and angles. Just figuring out where I'm at on the floor, knowing that he'll get the ball to me. We're pretty comfortable when the ball's in his hand and when he's on the floor. So, we just have to communicate, and starting with me, I just to make sure there's a lot of spacing so we could get to our options.
Because I didn't see the interview after the last game, but I was told that you weren't upset with how the game finished, even though you guys won. So I gotta imagine tonight, after a loss, that you're even more upset about how the game finished. I could be wrong. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, just got to be better down the stretch. We still figuring it out. Seem like we're saying that every game, but the turnovers. I don't know. I think we had 8 turnovers in the fourth. Shoot, probably half of them was me. So we're gonna figure it out. Promise you that. When we do, we'll be a better team because of it.
No, just wanted to follow that up. DeAndre was speaking to that as well about not finishing the games the way you guys want. Is it all a matter of figuring each other out, or is it more to it than that?
It's a little bit of everything. Got to know what we want to run down the stretch. We got good shots, but we can't turn the ball over. I think I did that a few times. And then you gotta know that you can get stops down the stretch. Not overtime. They were scoring just about every time. So we just got to build that confidence.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olson with Arizona Sports.
Chris, in that final possession of regulation, looked like you guys had enough time to take a timeout, but you guys chose not to. Can you take us through that play?
That was the dumbest play. I didn't know what was on the clock. I got to call the timeout. I caught it on the run. Then I looked at the clock. By that time, I took a dribble. So I told Coach my bad. I don't usually make them mistakes, but yeah, I got to call the timeout so we can get a better shot.
All right, next up is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
You guys were down 3 and you kicked it to Payne, and I know he didn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily on target or he didn't grab it right, but is that one of those where, hey, you got to let that go, or were you pleased with what he tried to do in terms of making the play and not taking the 3?
You try to make the right play. That was my fault. I gave Cam a bad pass. He slipped out on the screen. I had 2 with me. I gave him a bad pass, so he couldn't even get the 3 off. So,
and then follow up, Chris. Just you got a chance to play him right away again tomorrow. Don't know how Devin's going to be in terms of the leg injury, but how good is that? Hey, look, we get another chance to play the same team after a disappointing loss tonight.
Yeah, you gotta have a short memory. That's the I guess positive, interesting thing about this season is that you play those back-to-backs against the same team.
on consecutive nights. So got to look at the tape, learn from this one, get ready for tomorrow.